Think for a moment. Where does your money go as soon as it hits your account? Most people barely notice, and it's already gone. A lunch here, a little purchase there, a subscription you don't even use anymore. At the end of the month comes that old phrase, "I can't save anything." But what Robert Kiyosaki and other great investors discovered is that wealth doesn't start with the amount you earn. It starts with the behavior you have with it. Saving money isn't about what's left over. It's about deciding to save first and adjust later. It's as if you were the captain of a ship. Every salary is a new voyage. If you don't chart the course, the wind or the temptations of consumption takes your money anywhere. Now, when you decide that 10% of your salary is untouchable, something changes. You start to notice opportunities, think twice before spending, and, most importantly, you start to create the habit that transforms any income into a source of growth. Saving a little is better than saving nothing. And when that little repeats month after month, it transforms into a clear signal of discipline, and discipline is the true starting point for financial freedom. Have you noticed how easy it is to get into debt these days? Just one click. The credit card seems like a willing friend to help. Installment payments without interest seem like a gift. But behind this, there's something few people realize. Each debt is a little piece of your freedom being handed over to someone. When you buy something you don't need, with money you haven't even earned yet, you're saying, "I worked to pay for the past." And it's exactly this that traps so many people in an endless cycle. The salary comes in, the bills take everything, and the next month starts the same as the previous one. Robert Kiyosaki always said that those who understand interest earn from it. Those who don't understand pay for it. And this phrase sums up the difference between those who get rich and those who just survive. When you free yourself from unnecessary debts, something powerful happens. The money that used to slip through your fingers starts to work in your favor. Imagine the feeling of seeing your salary and knowing it's entirely yours, not the bank's, not the bills, not the financings. This is the foundation of true financial independence. That's why, before buying anything, ask a simple question. Do I really need this now? Or am I trading freedom for impulse? Avoiding debts isn't about living in fear of spending, but about choosing when and where your money should go. And when that choice comes from awareness, not from haste, that's when prosperity starts to grow. And tell me, is this tip making sense to you? If so, like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next content that will show you how to transform simple habits into long-term wealth. Many people think that investing is only for those who have money left over or earn a lot. But Robert Kiyosaki always explains that investing is a matter of habit, not amount. Even small amounts applied with discipline every month can transform into large sums over time. Think of your money as seeds that you plant in your future. Each month that you save a little bit, even if small, you're building a solid foundation to grow. It's consistency that makes the magic happen. Money doesn't grow instantly, but with patience it starts to generate more money on its own. Kiyosaki also emphasizes that investing regularly creates financial discipline. When you transform the act of investing into a routine, it stops being something complicated or scary. You start to see your salary as a tool to build freedom, and not just to cover day-to-day bills. Robert Kiyosaki always emphasizes that relying only on a salary is never enough to build wealth. No matter how disciplined you are with your spending and invest regularly, the amount of money coming in every month is limited if it depends on a single source. That's why creating new sources of income isn't just an option, it's an essential strategy to gain financial freedom. And when we talk about new sources of income, it doesn't need to be anything impossible or outside your reality. Think about your skills, the knowledge you already have, the things you like to do, or the needs you notice around you. Maybe you know how to cook well, have a knack for organization, are good with numbers, crafts, or technology. All these skills can transform into a way to make money. The secret is to transform time and knowledge into capital. For example, you can start offering a service in your spare time, create simple products to sell online, or even invest in businesses that require little initial capital. Every penny that comes in from these new sources can be directed to investments, and it's precisely this movement that creates a growth cycle: more income, more investment, more money working for you. Kiyosaki always warns, it's not about working more, it's about working intelligently. The more you diversify your sources of income, the less dependent you become on a single salary, and the more space you create for bigger opportunities. Additionally, new sources of income also teach valuable lessons about entrepreneurship, money management, and decision-making, skills you'll carry for the rest of your life. In the end, creating new sources of income isn't just about making more money. It's about gaining freedom, security, and control over your financial future. Each small step you take today can transform into a constant flow of money tomorrow, and this is one of the fundamental pillars for those who want to get rich, even starting with little. Robert Kiyosaki always reinforces, the greatest asset you possess isn't the money you earn, but the knowledge you accumulate. Money comes and goes, but knowledge can never be taken from you. It's the safest investment, which yields infinitely greater returns than any financial application, because it opens doors that money alone could never open. Investing in knowledge means going beyond reading a news article or following the market. It's understanding how money works, learning about investments, discovering new ways to generate income, and improving yourself in your work or business. Each book read, each course taken, each practical experience transforms into a tool you can use to create more opportunities. Imagine the difference between two people, one who earns the same salary as you, but never seeks to learn anything about finance, investments, or business, and another who dedicates even a little time every day to study, improve skills, and understand how money can work for them. Which one will have more chances of leaving the salary race and building wealth? Without a doubt, the second one. Kiyosaki also teaches that financial knowledge creates mental freedom. When you understand how to invest, how to save strategically, how to diversify your sources of income, you stop reacting to situations and start making conscious decisions, taking advantage of opportunities instead of being surprised by problems. Investing in knowledge doesn't require large sums of money. It can start with books, affordable online courses, educational videos, and even practical experiences like small investments to learn in practice. The important thing is to maintain discipline and consistency. Little by little, you build a solid foundation that will allow you to make smarter decisions, avoid costly mistakes, and accelerate the growth of your wealth. In the end, every penny invested in learning about finance, business, or personal development is like planting a tree that will bear fruit for a lifetime. While money alone can disappear, knowledge multiplies opportunities and creates real and lasting wealth. Robert Kiyosaki always warns, there is no real wealth without knowledge about what you're buying. Many people make the mistake of investing in something just because they heard it makes money fast, or because everyone is doing it, without really understanding how it works. This is one of the biggest dangers on the path to financial freedom. Imagine investing in a stock, a business, or even real estate without really knowing how it generates profit, what the risks are, and what can affect the return. It's like getting into a car without knowing how to drive. You run a great chance of crashing before even leaving the spot. That's why Kiyosaki always emphasizes, knowledge is what transforms investment into opportunity and risk into control. Buying only what you understand means studying, observing, asking, and if necessary, starting small. It can be your own business, an investment in real estate, stocks, or any other asset. The important thing is to understand the mechanism behind the investment, know how it generates return, and what the risks involved are. When you have clarity, each decision stops being luck or gambling and becomes strategy. Additionally, this care creates emotional security. Investing in something you understand reduces fear, increases confidence, and allows you to make more consistent decisions without being swayed by trends or external pressures. It's a fundamental step for those who want to grow financially in a solid and lasting way. Kiyosaki reinforces that great investors don't run after trends or last-minute tips. They study, learn, and only then invest. And it's exactly this behavior that separates those who just survive on the month's money from those who build true wealth over the years. In the end, buying only what you understand isn't just a financial strategy. It's a philosophy of security, discipline, and intelligence, which protects your wealth and multiplies your chances of success. One of the biggest traps that Kiyosaki points out is the search for immediate results. We live in an era where everything is instant. Purchases, entertainment, even fast money seems possible. But the reality of wealth is different. Building wealth is a process, and those who think only of quick profit end up losing valuable opportunities. Think of your financial life as cultivating a forest. You don't plant a tree today and expect to harvest fruit tomorrow. You need to water, care for, protect from wind and pests, and wait for the right time. Similarly, your investments and financial strategies need time to grow. Haste often leads to error, poorly evaluated investments, impulsive decisions, and regrets that could be avoided with patience and long-term vision. Robert Kiyosaki always reinforces that consistency is more powerful than intensity. It's no use investing a large amount once and then disappearing. It's much more effective to invest small amounts regularly. Learn from each movement, adjust strategies, and allow money to work for you for years. It's this continuous habit that creates the multiplier effect, transforming modest salaries into significant wealth over time. Additionally, thinking long-term helps maintain focus. When you know you're building something lasting, you become less vulnerable to trends, promises of quick profit, and comparisons with others' financial lives. You start measuring your success by the goals you've defined, and not by external expectations or passing market trends. Another important point that Kiyosaki highlights is that time is the investor's most valuable ally. The sooner you start, even with little money, the sooner the effect of compound investments begins to work. This effect is like a snowball. At first it seems small and slow, but over time it grows, gains strength, and transforms into something much bigger than you imagined. Deep down, thinking long-term is a mindset that transforms your relationship with money. Instead of seeking immediate results, you learn to value discipline, patience, and strategic planning. This is how real wealth is built, not miraculously, but solidly, consistently, and sustainably. If you're enjoying these tips and want to learn step by step how to transform simple habits into financial freedom, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Here you'll receive content that really makes sense, showing how to start with little and build wealth consistently with practical and applicable strategies in everyday life. So if it makes sense to you and you want to follow the next videos, click subscribe now and stay on top of everything that can transform your financial life. One of the biggest secrets that Kiyosaki teaches is that true financial freedom begins with control over your own money. It doesn't matter how much you earn. If you spend everything or even more than you receive, you'll never have space to invest or build wealth. Living below your means doesn't mean giving up everything or living without pleasure. It means prioritizing what really matters and postponing superfluous consumption that only drains your money. Every real that's left over is a real that can be invested, multiplied, and transformed into opportunities. Think of this as a strategy game. If you spend everything immediately, you won't have pieces to move on the future board. But if you save and invest with discipline, each small amount transforms into a powerful tool that works for you, creating a constant growth cycle. Kiyosaki also explains that the habit of living below your means develops financial awareness. You start to analyze each spending decision. Does this bring me closer to my goal, or is it just impulse? This constant exercise of reflection transforms small daily choices into long-term wealth habits. Another important point is that this practice generates security and freedom. When you spend less than you earn, you don't depend on unforeseen events or credits to survive. Your money stops being a problem and becomes a strategic tool to achieve your goals. In the end, living below your means is a shortcut to accumulate capital, maintain discipline, and ensure that every investment you make is done with awareness and decision-making power. It's the foundation that allows you to transform a modest salary into solid wealth without needing luck or miracles. One of the greatest lessons that Robert Kiyosaki teaches is that money works better when it's put to generate more money. And we're not just talking about the initial capital invested, but especially the profits it produces. Reinvesting is the key to accelerating wealth building and transforming small achievements into significant results over time. Many people make the mistake of spending profits as soon as they hit the account, thinking, "I deserve this reward." And in fact, you deserve to celebrate. But Kiyosaki warns, those who reinvest grow much faster than those who consume everything immediately. Every penny reinvested is like an extra seed planted in your financial forest. Over time, it grows, multiplies, and generates even more fruit. Reinvesting is also a protection and security strategy. By putting profits back into investments, you don't depend only on future salary contributions or new unexpected earnings. Wealth begins to create its own growth cycle, functioning like a machine that produces income continuously. Additionally, reinvesting allows you to take advantage of opportunities that arise in the market. When you accumulate profits and keep them in intelligent circulation, you can diversify investments, explore new assets, and strengthen your portfolio without compromising the initial capital. It's what Kiyosaki calls leveraging the money you've already conquered. Another important point is that the habit of reinvesting transforms your mindset. You start thinking like a true investor. Each gain isn't just immediate profit, but a tool to create more financial freedom. This changes the way you face risks, opportunities, and day-to-day decisions, making your planning much more strategic and consistent. In the end, reinvesting profits is the secret of exponential growth. Small amounts, applied with discipline and intelligence, transform into significant sums over time. It's the difference between living month to month or building a solid future capable of generating real wealth independent of the size of your initial salary. Robert Kiyosaki always emphasizes that getting rich isn't just about how much money you earn, but about how you think about money and investments. Having an owner's mindset means seeing each reel not as something to spend immediately, but as a powerful tool to create more value and freedom in the future. When you think like an owner, each financial decision is made with strategy and long-term vision. Buying an asset stops being just a matter of price. It becomes about the potential to generate income, increase wealth, and bring security. This completely changes the way you deal with expenses, investments, and business opportunities. Kiyosaki explains that an owner's mindset also involves taking total responsibility for your financial future. It's not waiting for the government, employer, or luck to solve your problems. It's understanding that each decision, each investment, each choice of spending or saving directly impacts your freedom and growth. Additionally, this mindset teaches you to see opportunities where others see only risk. An investor with an owner's vision analyzes, learns, compares, and only then decides to act. They don't get carried away by trends or the impulse of the moment, but seek to understand the true value behind each investment. Another important point is that thinking like an owner also changes your relationship with work. Instead of exchanging hours for money, you start looking for ways to make money work for you, whether through investments, your own businesses, or multiple sources of income. It's a mindset transformation that gradually alters your entire approach to financial life. In the end, having an owner's mindset is what separates those who just survive financially from those who actually build wealth. It's about discipline, vision, patience, and strategic decision. Each choice made with this mindset becomes a step towards freedom, security, and long-term prosperity, even starting with little. What's most incredible is that you don't need much to start. One small step today, if repeated with consistency, can generate enormous results in the future. Every penny saved, every knowledge acquired, and every well-thought investment accumulate over time, creating a multiplier effect that no one sees immediately, but that becomes powerful in the long term. And the best of all, this transformation doesn't depend on luck or winning the lottery. It depends on discipline, conscious choices, and strategic vision, exactly as Kiyosaki teaches. When you understand that each financial decision is an opportunity for growth, you start to face money as a tool and not as a problem. Additionally, following these principles helps you develop confidence and security. Knowing that your actions today are building tomorrow brings mental freedom and reduces that constant anxiety about bills, unforeseen events, or missed opportunities. It's the beginning of a healthy relationship with money, where it works for you and not the other way around. Following these steps, you start to realize that wealth isn't a distant destination, but a journey built day after day. Each financial habit you adopt, whether saving a small amount, avoiding debts, investing regularly, or creating new sources of income, is a brick in the foundation of your future. Investing in knowledge, buying only what you understand, and thinking long-term makes your decisions stop being impulsive and become strategic. Living below your means, reinvesting profits, and having an owner's mindset ensures that each choice isn't just about the present, but about building freedom, security, and opportunities for the coming years. What's most interesting is that these principles work for anyone, regardless of salary or current situation. Starting small isn't an obstacle, it's training. It's like planting a tree. At first, it seems like nothing happens, but with care, discipline, and patience, it grows strong and bears abundant fruit. The difference between those who just survive financially and those who build real wealth lies in consistency, discipline, and strategic vision. It's not about making fast money or waiting for miracles. It's about deciding to act today, even if with little, and allowing each action to multiply over time. Each step you take is a silent victory. Every penny saved, every investment studied, every new skill acquired, and every conscious decision reinforces your path towards financial freedom. And the more you apply these principles, the more you realize that true wealth is built inside the mind before being reflected in the bank account. In the end, building wealth isn't about luck, high salaries, or miracles. It's about discipline, patience, and intelligent decisions every day. Every penny saved, every knowledge acquired, every investment studied, and every conscious choice is a step towards financial freedom. Real wealth begins inside your mind, with the way you see, plan, and act on your money. And when you apply these principles of Robert Kiyosaki, even starting with little, you realize that it's possible to transform simple habits into giant opportunities, multiplying your results over time. So now I want to know from you, which of these steps will you start applying today in your financial life? If this video made sense to you and you want to receive more practical tips to change your relationship with money, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Each new video brings strategies that can really transform your life and help you achieve the freedom you've always dreamed of. Remember, the journey to wealth begins with a small step, and your step can start now.